Fest is back. The two-day rock and roll party leading up to the original KISS cruise will be on October 27th and 28th in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Proudly brought to you by KISS Rum, KISS Cold Gin, and Yamaha. Day one festivities will be a Bon Voyage party held at the host hotel, the Doubletree in San Pedro, hosted by the one and only DJ Noise. Party with your fellow cruisers while Noise spins the tunes and mingle with our special musical guests. Then stay for the Kruise Fest comedy, punchlines and backlines comedy show produced and hosted by Courtney Cronin Dole. Featuring one of Hollywood's funniest rock and roll comedians, plus a KISS Army fan favorite headliner and a special guest rock star doing their first stand-up comedy set. Day 2 features a 5-band live show at the historic Yost Theater featuring tribute bands Fair Warning and Dress to Kill, along with the Iron Maidens and headliners Slaughter. Plus, a special performance by the original members of Fraley's Comet, Todd Howarth, John Regan, and world-renowned drummer Anton Fig. All this, plus charity raffles generously sponsored by Sixth Man. Don't miss this exciting event. Start your rock and roll vacation off at the only party in town, Kruise Fest. That's Kruise Fest with a K.
My friends, and welcome to episode 75 of the KISS Army Nation podcast. This is the second episode of a series of Kruise Fest specials, and we are your hosts. I'm Pasquale Veri.
And I am Claudius Pera. Welcome to the show, everyone.
So on today's episode, we'll be looking at two musical guests from Kruise Fest. First, the Iron Maidens. Formed in 2001, they have quickly established themselves as one of Southern California's most popular tribute acts and are rapidly gaining international recognition. The band boasts excellent musicianship and beauty, as you will see with their upcoming guest.
Second, Dress to Kill and Los Angeles KISS tribute band. They may not boast, the beauty, but definitely excellent musicianship, playing all the hits from the classic era of KISS in makeup and costume.
So, without further ado, KISS Navy, let's introduce you to our first guest from the Iron Maidens, Linda McDonald. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
And by the way, as we're recording this, it's your birthday.
It is.
It is your birthday.
Happy birthday. So, Linda, let's get started with the show.
Okay.
So, before our listeners get to know a little bit about you, tell us a little bit about the other members of the Iron Maidens. Let's start with Nikki Springfield.
Nikki Springfield is a guitarist hailing out of Texas. And she came out here to Los Angeles to pursue her dreams and play music. And she also had an internship. She was studying like music business and television and radio. So that's why she came out here. And she was working at Schecter, and through friends and all that stuff is how we got in touch with her. It's a small world out there, you know, and Courtney knows everybody and all that. And when we need a guitar player, that family pulled together, and Courtney knew them, and she stepped on in. And we were actually the first live show that she ever did.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Was Iron Maidens, if you can believe that. It was leaps and bounds forward with everything, going from her first live show with this band to doing her solo projects now. She's got her solo CD that she's recorded one already. She's doing her full length one now. And she's also just released a acoustic covers thing over COVID, Live in the Living Room with Patrick from Lita Ford and Heaven Below.
Okay.
And also in the band Heaven Below.
Wow.
In a nutshell,
That
that's
is
Mickey
incredible.
Springfield.
Nice. And how about Kristen Rosenberg?
Kirsten Roseberg. She is a vegan. She is vegan. She is an animal activist. And she took lessons with Steve Waitman from Kicks.
Oh, wow.
She also owned a partial owner of a bakery called Sticky Fingers out in the DC area. And at the beginning of the band, when she joined, she was commuting a lot back and forth from DC to Los Angeles. So that got a little bit old kind of fast. And she ended up giving up the restaurant, or not the restaurant, the bakery, sorry. And she moved out here to the East Coast. And she is she is like the silliest person I've ever met in my life. She has like no reservations about saying anything and just being herself. And oh my God, she'll make you pee your pants. Genuinely funny, hilarious. Oh my God, very outspoken person. You will love her.
Oh, can't wait to meet her. Can't wait to meet all of you, actually. And what about Wanda Ortiz? Did I say that properly?
Wanda Ortiz, yes. I believe she's a Southern California native. Could be wrong. But she doubles in, aside from playing in the Maidens, she plays in symphony orchestras.
Oh, wow.
So she plays in the South Coast Symphony, Marina Del Rey Symphony, and the Culver City Symphony when she can, around the Maiden schedule. And she also has a side career in technology.
Oh, wow.
Well, you guys are really busy.
Yeah.
And finally, Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox is, God, is she a talent. She is the most loyal person you will ever meet. She is fiercely loyal as a friend, as a bandmate. She's from Philly. There's no filter there. Courtney is always looking for trouble in a good way.
I love it.
She's like the prankster. She is the jokester, but she's awesome. And she's played in many various projects since she's been out here. And actually, one of the first bands she joined when she moved out here from Philly was a Kiss tribute.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, not at all. Which one?
Kisses? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was Kisses or I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But it was a short run, but it was a Kiss tribute. Courtney and Wanda are both big Kiss fans.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, we're going to get there
That's
soon.
Wanda. Yeah.
So now, Linda, let's talk about you, our favorite part. So what are some of your musical influences, if I may ask?
So my musical influence, wow, they range. I've been around for a while, so I mean, I listen to everything from Barry Manilow, piano instrumental stuff. Yiruma is one of my favorites. To the stuff that got me started playing, which was like Saxon, of course, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Accept, and everything in between pretty much, except for hardcore jazz, because it's just a little above my IQ level.
And what made you pick up the drums? Why the drums?
Well, I started out on piano and dabbled with just a couple other instruments along the way over the years. And when I hit my teens, I didn't want to just keep listening to pretty stuff and playing pretty stuff. I had a lot of aggression and anger I needed to get out, and I picked up the drums. it was either the bass or the drums, whichever I found first. And I happened to find a massive drum set for sale in the Recycler, an old magazine, a Ludwig Vistalite kit. It was an 11-piece kit for $300. So that's what I got, and that's why I played drums.
Love it. And Linda, with your musical background, so can you tell us what you have done before the Iron Maidens? So some other bands that you played before joining the Iron Maidens?
Before my very first band was an all-female tribute called Andromeda.
Okay.
And we played like LA area, and we did original material, but we also did covers. And guess what we covered? Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. Iron Maiden and Led Zeppelin, and a couple U2 songs, and the rest were originals. After that, a couple of things here and there. Then I met Michelle Meldrum through that Recycler again, an ad, and joined Phantom Blue. And after Phantom Blue that was a pretty long ride. Okay. It was a great experience. I did a few cover bands, some other tribute bands. I did some recordings with a fine young guitarist from Argentina named Karina Alfia. You should Google her. She's amazing. And a couple, some tracks with Michelle Meldrum's next band after Phantom Blue called Meldrum.
Wow, interesting network. And how did the Iron Maidens got started?
Well, okay, there's a couple sides here. On this side is the band called Wrathchild, and it had 2 female members in it, and the rest were guys. The singer, Jen, and the bass player, Mel. And then on my side was Phantom Blue, and we were looking for a new bass player. We got an invitation from Wrathchild from their Adrian Smith, named Jonathan Layton. Hi, John. He invited us to come down and see their band play. So we wanted to go see them play. Why not? We love Maiden. And they had a female bass player. Okay. So if someone could play Steve Harris, they could definitely play the Phantom Blue stuff. So we went down there, and the tables got turned, and somehow the guitar player in Phantom Blue and I were asked to join Jen and Mel, the bass player in Wrathchild, to complete the lineup of an all-female Maiden tribute that they had been trying to put together for a couple of years. All they needed was a drummer and guitar player. So the answer was naturally yes. Wow,
what a story. And since then, you guys since then you stayed together, and this is what the band is today, right?
The idea of an all-female tribute is what is still together today.
Okay.
Just like with any other band, over the years, people's lives change,
of course,
whatnot, and people come and go. So the lineup has changed. I am the only original member left. Wanda joined about a year after the band started, so she's been there since the beginning too.
Right.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're going on our 21st year, if you can believe that.
Wow.
I can't believe it either. Wow. Longer than most relationships and marriages last.
I wouldn't know.
I love it.
So, Linda, can you take us through some of the past events for the Iron Maidens?
Some of the standout ones were, we played in Mexico City in 2008. Steve Harris's daughter's band was opening up for Iron Maiden on that tour. Iron Maiden were in Mexico City that night, and it was their night off. So Lauren Harris's band was on the bill with our band at the Hard Rock, and Steve Harris was there.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
It was pretty good. Yeah, but, we didn't want to geek out, and we didn't want to bother them. We were sharing one big open dressing green room area. It was really huge, but there were no separate rooms really. And Steve Harris was there, and oh God, we didn't want to go and say, my God, we worship my God. So it's hard, but we didn't. And after the show, he came into the room and he came to us, and he was glowing, and he had a lot of praise, and he gave us a thumbs up. And I would say a more recent great gig was just about a month or so ago, and the band got to play at Wacken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nikki and I were not there because the European tour had rescheduled 3 times because of COVID. And so we had some other things that came up with family, that a couple of weddings and whatnot, that we couldn't change those. So we had subs go out. Kiana De Leon went on guitar, and Nikki Lane Taylor went on drums. But the Iron Maidens played at Wacken, and wow, I think that was a big wow.
No, I've become an Iron Maiden fan in the past few years, and I've just become like a mega fan. I love their music, and I can't wait to hear you guys. And it's awesome. It's more than a tribute band. You know, you bring back the music and the memory of the band. It's going to be an amazing experience. I just can't wait.
You know, I used to not quite understand what the whole tribute thing was many years ago. And so one day, I think there was a magazine, Rock City News or something. They were having some award show, and it wasn't too far from where I live. So we went, and the Atomic Punks were playing, the original lineup with Ralph was in the band and all that. And I couldn't believe how realistic it was, and because they were really, really good. They still are really good. But it totally brought me back to, you know, my younger days, and
exactly.
I totally relived a lot of things, and I totally got it. So now I understand it. And I had no idea a few years later I would be joining a tribute band for the next 21 years of my life.
Yeah.
But what Pat's saying, you know, I don't think it's fair to call it like a tribute band, because it's a whole experience, you know, for people who maybe do not have the chance to see Maiden so often. You know, going to one of your gigs, you know, it's a whole trip, you know. It's amazing. It must be amazing.
Thank you. And yeah, because Maiden, they can't be everywhere at once. So
right.
we like to say we're the surrogate fix, you know, until they come back in town. And it's a lot easier on your pocketbook or your wallet.
The funny thing is, I'm going to see Iron Maiden in Ottawa on October 15th. And then
nice.
You guys like 10 days later.
Nice.
So it'll be a nice Maiden month, man. It's going to be awesome.
Nice. I think we're going to Texas this weekend coming up. And I think one of the shows we're playing is literally the night before Maiden is going to be playing, about an hour from that town. I'm not sure which town it is. But they're not actually playing in that said city. So the people are really excited. We've been getting a lot of messages. We're going to go and see you guys first, and then the next night we're going to go see Maiden. And
oh, that's the best. That's the best. Awesome. So speaking of which, and we'll talk about Kruise Fest in a minute, what other events, shows you guys have lined up for the Iron Maidens?
Okay, right off the bat, coming up this weekend, we are in Texas, and we have 3 shows: El Paso, Houston, and San Antonio on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay, and then we're going to be at Rockefeller's Bar in Corona on October 15th in California. Winfield's, we're going to be jumping over to Florida too, October 20th, Satellite Beach at Winfield's, the 21st at OCC Roadhouse, and the 22nd at Piper's in Pompano Beach. What else? Oh, we have another one, Fort Myers, Florida, on the 20th. And then, of course, the Kruise Fest.
Nice.
Yes. There's a lot more too, but you know, you can look that up on our website or on our Facebook.
Absolutely.
IronMaidensOfficial.com or the Iron Maidens Official on Facebook.
Great.
Cool. Super busy. That's great. So you mentioned, Linda, Kruise Fest. Of course, we're going to get into the Kiss business. This is, as you know, this is a Kiss podcast, and we feel to ask you. So, are you a Kiss fan?
Who is not a Kiss fan?
There you go.
There you go. Nice.
Right?
Good.
If you are not, See ya.
I love it.
Now, I will be honest. I'm not as big a Kiss fan as Wanda is. Wanda should be on this right now. I think Kiss has a huge influence on her. It's one of the reasons I think she started to play the bass. But I mean, what's there not to love about Kiss?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Every
It's
Kiss
a
song
legend.
is a big party.
Mm-hmm.
True. And how could you compare if they can't be compared? So how could you compare Kiss with Iron Maiden? So what are the let's say the common points or stuff, approach to business, approach to music, respect for the fans. So how would you compare the two bands?
Oh, both are totally all about the fans, I think, right? Because, I mean, Kiss provides a huge show. I mean, it is entertainment. It's a lot of explosive stuff. It's makeup. It's theatrical. It's a lot of fun. They've got a lot of merchandise. People love that stuff. And all the songs are easy to remember and sing along to, and everyone's going to get into it. Iron Maiden, though, it's a whole different side of the spectrum, but it's really the same thing. I mean, the music is it's more technical, and I think that the themes of the songs are different. It's more like historical events and, things a little bit more along that line of things. But all the hooks are there, and their stage production is really big as well. They've got things going off on the stage, and they've got monsters.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
You had Eddie, of course.
So I think there's parallels there. Completely different, but at the same time, it's the same kind of entertainment, really. It's arena rock. Both of them is arena.
That's right. Arena rock, two big legends in rock, and, they have the footprint, and they're going to leave a mark in the history of rock and heavy metal. So I'm sure that, Linda, you must have been surrounded by Kiss fans more than often. So what is your impression of Kiss fans? If you can, I don't know, some
they
characteristics.
Are just enthusiastic. They just love the energy. They love the fun. They love the fun of it all. A couple of cover bands that I was in, we did some Kiss songs, and those always got big reactions from the crowd. Everybody would always sing along and just really get into it. Everybody knows the stuff. Very loyal following.
Yeah, true. Loyal, and it's all about having fun, entertainment, as you said before. Big time.
Yep.
So, Linda, we asked you about Kiss and Kiss fans, sort of like as a segue into Kruise Fest, because, of course, as you mentioned, and as we all know, Iron Maidens will be playing the Kruise Fest. Now, how did that come about?
Actually, our booking agents at Big Time Entertainment, they just called us up and said, "Do you guys have any interest in playing this?" And we said, "Yeah." Yes. Definitely. Seriously? First we thought, "You mean play the cruise?" But they said, "No, just the opening, the pre-party." Okay, that's just fine. We did the pre-party for the Monsters of Rock cruise, and those pre-parties are epic. I mean, people they're so geared up, ready for this cruise, that everybody's just in a certain mindset of music, nonstop activity, nonstop music. And there's going to be comedians and that type of stuff too, right? So there's something for everyone. It's just going to be nonstop. And just the energy, just because it's like little kids before Christmas.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
For the cruise. It's Cruise Eve,
Yeah. So have you heard about Kruise Fest before you were asked to join Kruise Fest?
Kruise Fest. I did not. But I did look it up, and I did look at who was playing the last time, and I'm sorry that I missed it.
Yeah, it was an amazing show.
We were probably out of town.
Yeah. Okay, so never having heard of Kruise Fest before, what are your expectations?
I think it's just like I said, it's going to be just so much great energy. It's going to be a crazy wild party. I mean, there's 2 days of this one, right?
Yeah.
And we're on day 2.
Yeah. And there's six shows that day.
So we are gonna cure your hangovers.
Nice.
Can I tell you a fun fact, actually?
Absolutely.
It was several years ago. The Iron Maidens actually got to open for KISS at a private corporate event. We got to be the direct opener before KISS played, and that was pretty exciting.
Oh, wow.
We got to watch right at the front of the stage, and it was amazing. It was really cool. So I know the energy from that. I know what the energy is going to be like at the Kruise Fest.
With a couple of days before the KISS cruise, it's going to be high energy for sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So speaking of high energy, what can we expect from your performance at the show? Anything special?
A lot of energy. A whole lot of energy. Yeah, you know, we've got Eddies, we've got the Devil. It depends which songs we're playing. We've, you know, got all kinds of stuff. It's we recreate the arena show as best we can on a smaller scale.
Right.
So, yeah, we just want you to feel like you're at an Iron Maiden concert, hearing most of the songs that they don't really play anymore, you know, because they're touring now, and there's no need for us to play the current set that they're playing now. That's how we feel. So we're going to take you back in time a little bit. And,
awesome. That's awesome.
No, Linda, unfortunately, we have to wrap up the show. But again, hey, number one, once again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on the show and, you know, getting us to know a little bit about you and the Iron Maidens, and, you know, to build up the anticipation of the show next month. It's going to come pretty quick. And so looking forward to meeting you and the rest of the band.
Awesome. We can't wait. We'll see you guys then.
Absolutely.
Same here. We can't wait. So it was really nice to have you, Linda. Thanks a lot. And again, once again, happy birthday. And well, we'll see you soon.
Thank you. We'll see you soon. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Linda.
Our next guest comes right out of LA, California. He will be rocking Kruise Fest with his band Dressed to Kill, LA KISS tribute. KISS Navy, please welcome Greg Crane. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, welcome, welcome to the hottest place on earth.
I heard. How hot is it there right now?
It is I think it's 104 right now.
Wow.
It's out of control. Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording out of Montreal. It's cold right now. It's a cold day today.
Yeah, today it's cold.
Yeah. I forget. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold.
Just believe me, it's cold.
It's cold. Trust me, it's cold.
Take my word for it.
Okay, so we're gonna get started, Craig. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, your musical influences and your own musical journey, which eventually led to Dressed to Kill.
Wow. So, I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up in a really small town in northwestern Illinois, population about 800 people, and a very small farm, rural town. And my brother was a drummer, so there really wasn't anything to do. My brother had a, beat up old drum set in our basement. And, I was looking at his posters on his wall. He had the KISS Chopper posters up on the wall. And I was like, what is that all about? What is that? He's like, oh, it's KISS. You should check it out. I'm like, cool. So we go down in the basement and we, put on, I think Destroyer at that point was a record he had. And I would just start kind of playing drums along with it, put on the big old 70s headphones, the gigantic ones. And, I would just start, playing. So that's, how I got started playing drums, getting involved in music was really KISS, AC/DC, really just KISS and AC/DC, and a lot of the other stuff that was coming out, around that time, like Quiet Riot, and really into Quiet Riot. Frankie Banali was one of my favorite drummers. So that was, kind of it really. And then to move to California a little later on, I got into, of course, I always listen to, Eric and, Peter and Eric. Carr, always influenced by them, and I started getting into, other kind of styles of music, more of kind of the striper and, bands like that, more that kind of the big gigantic hair bands. So that's kind of my musical journey, really, just jamming to music or jamming to records in the basement, and then started playing with people when I moved here in '88.
Okay. What kind of bands did you play in?
What kind of what?
What kind of bands did you play in?
Oh, bands. The first bands I was playing in, because I didn't really know anybody, so I just put up an ad looking for somebody just to play with in my garage. I was 15 years old, and this guy came over who had just a really bad amp and a terrible guitar, and we just played punk, old punk covers. And he was much older than me, and I didn't really listen to like punk rock music, so I didn't know any of those bands, but I knew it was loud and it was cool, and I could just bash along to it. So that was my first band. Was a 2-piece band. We were way ahead of the White Stripes, I think, in 1987. But then I started to kind of get into, my style was always rock, harder rock stuff, not really heavy metal. I'm not a good double bass player or anything like that, so I wasn't really fit. I love like Anthrax and Metallica and things like that. I couldn't really play it, so I kind of shied away from that. Went more of just that kind of that big heavy, rock pig, big sweaty rock pig drumming. Dave, and then I got into Dave Grohl and of course Dave Aberzies and Pearl Jam, Matt Cameron, drummers like that. So I started playing in alternative bands and rock bands. It's always been rock bands, and probably in the past 10 years around here in LA, I was doing a lot of the tribute band scene. There was a Pearl Jam tribute band I played with for a long time, and that kind of led me about 4 years ago to playing with the Kiss guys in Dress to Kill. If that's where the story's going, I guess. Oh,
Yes.
I didn't want to step ahead.
This is where we're going.
I didn't want to
This is where we're
segue
going.
into it if
I
that's
love
not
it.
where it was going. You're like, wait, we were going to talk about any of that. Hold on. That's not on my notes.
You mean these notes? No. No, we're definitely going to talk about it. But before we do that, I want to talk more about, how you got into KISS.
Yeah. Like I said, it was my brother. My brother, just looking at his posters and seeing, because it was so different at the time, being, at that time I was probably would have been 8, 9 years old, just like really looking around. You're like, what is all this about? So excited, these big superheroes. And then not only were they cool to look at when they played, we were listening to their music, they sounded cool. And not to, Kiss will say it themselves. The music is really simple.
Do you still remember which album or which song did you get into from the beginning?
Yeah, well, the Destroyer was the first kind of record I remember hearing, but Love Gun was the real, that was the real record that my brother got, bought, and that's when he's like, hey, getting it out of the sleeve, and we listened to that. I remember getting Gene's solo record was the first record that, A-Track kids. A-Track tapes, everybody.
There you go.
Remember those?
That was the first piece of music I ever bought with my own allowance money. And I still love Gene's solo record. I know it's kind of, somebody's going to jump in, but, everybody's like, wait a second. But I love Gene's solo record so much. And, it just brings me back to being a little kid.
Of course.
Dynasty, of course, because then I ended up getting Dynasty on A-Track. So I was just really fascinated, because the music was simple, it was easy to understand. As a youngster, it's some of the subject matter sometimes you don't really get when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
You get maybe when you're later on a teen, you figure it out. But I really dug it, and then of course with like Kiss Meet the Phantom was and all the toys. We were in such a small town that I only had a few little trinkets. I had I had a rub and play. I had I don't know. I had a bunch of posters, but like if you were going to go to a Toys R Us or something like that, that was 25 miles away.
Right.
So, I dug like, all the toys and bubblegum cards. I was all about it.
Super cool.
Still am.
Super. Hey, Greg, you mentioned before the band, and we're getting there now. So Dress to Kill, how did the band come about?
They put an ad out. I was looking for a band, and there was an ad I think it was on Craigslist. Maybe I was just kind of scouring, looking for something, looking for Peter Criss, and I'm like, wow, that's going to be crazy. I gotta check that out. So I remember calling Rich, our bass player, and Richard Martin, and I called him. And I bugged the hell out of him. Like I was seriously, he was like, "Hey, dude, I'm at work, man. Can I call you back?" I'm like, "Yeah, call me back. We got to get together and play." And I would call him, half an hour later, "Hey, man, you done with work yet?" And so finally they said, "Okay, let's get together and play." So we got together and just jammed. And it was
Just
I remember a funny thing is they were asking, they gave me a set list. And we got into the rehearsal room, and we went through a couple songs. And Rich says, "So what songs do you know off the list that you can play?" I said, "All of them." And not because I'm so cool. I'm just saying, like I knew all the songs, and I was like, "Well, we can do the whole thing." He's like, "What? All the songs?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we did all the songs that they knew, and then we just all got along. That was the thing. We all really, we're all really good friends, and we remain friends. And
super cool. Super.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the members which make up the band.
Well, Rich Martin is our bass player. He's our Gene, and then our guitar player is our Ace, or Spaceman.
Yeah.
Is named Ron Foster. And Ron also plays around in a lot of different bands. He'll actually leave our show. There's been a couple times where he left our show that we'll play, take off his makeup, and go 30 miles and dress like Kurt Cobain.
Oh, wow.
In front of band doing Nirvana.
Whoa.
And we've done shows. We actually played a couple of weeks ago, and he was playing bass in a Marilyn Manson tribute band.
Oh my God.
And so he was doing that. Came off, took off his makeup, put on more makeup, put on another outfit, and then we went back up to the other show. So he's crazy. He's crazy. I don't know how he does it. So that's Ron Foster, and then Johnny Fortune is our singer. Paul is our spaceman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any upcoming events featuring your band, Greg?
Upcoming shows and things like that?
Yeah,
we're actually playing tomorrow in Riverside here in California, and at a place called the Concert Lounge. This will probably air long after that show is long done. So I'm going to say it was a great show. I'm glad everybody came out.
You're the best. You're the best.
Yeah. It's going to be great, and then we have we're actually very busy. We have a lot of shows coming up in October. In October, obviously with Kruise Fest, which we can't wait to do, and we're going to be playing on Saturday. So we're going to be playing Friday Kruise Fest, Saturday off, and then we're playing on Sunday before Halloween out here in Rancho Cucamonga in Southern California. Do another show. And so we're doing the night before Christmas Eve at the Whiskey, and New Year's Eve we have a show in Simi Valley out here. So yeah, it's
busy, man.
It's picking up. Yeah, it's picking up. We after the COVID thing kind of was a little bit easier in Los Angeles, we jumped right into it, and there is a fellow that we work with in LA named Landon. Gail, who helps us with our booking, and he was just, he's a great friend, and we've been having, he's been, connecting us with some great people, and we're having a good time. That's the thing about our show, it's like we're all fans, if you look at a band like Mr. Speed, who's one of the most fantastic Kiss tribute bands of all time. You know, obviously we're not that. You know, they have an elaborate stage show, and the stairs and the lions and the thing. You know, our show. What I like to think about it. That kind of maybe sets us apart a little bit. Not saying better or worse than anybody, but what kind of makes us different is that we're thinking like a band. We're thinking like a rock band. And obviously we're playing tribute to Kiss, and we're playing the characters, we're dressed up, but we go into it, as like a rock band. Like, let's just be loud and have fun, and crank the amps up, and if we make a mistake, look at each other and laugh, because it doesn't matter. Have fun with whatever you're doing, and we rarely make mistakes, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's good.
So, as you mentioned, Dress to Kill is going to be at Kruise Fest, and we're all looking forward to that. And Joe has been on numerous podcasts, and he's mentioned, I believe, in every podcast that you're his MVP, most valuable player. He's mentioned in every podcast. So how exactly did this come about, Dress to Kill being on Kruise Fest?
Well, I approached Joe about it like a long time ago. I forget. Well, a long time ago being, months, not 10 years ago, but a while ago. And it was just, we knew each other like we all do through the wacky Kiss collecting world. Our world of Kiss toys and things like that. So we knew each other that way. And I reached out to him. I said, hey, I'm sorry for the cold intro on this one, but if you because the cruise is going to be in LA this year, anything you want us to do, if we want to be involved, obviously I think, we should be a Kiss tribute band, should be at Kruise Fest. And obviously I want it to be us. So, I think it'd be great if we could be a part of it. So I'm sure to virtually strangle me, because I was sending him, every time we do a show, I was sending him pictures, and I'm like, hey, check it out, man. We're here tonight. And he's like, I'm sure he was like, great, I get it. I'll get back to you. But I really wanted it to happen. I thought it'd be a lot of fun. So so I just kept in touch with him like that, and we were sending videos. We did a really cool promo video, which is up on the Kruise Fest page, and so we just started talking, and then kind of got on the other side of it. I was saying like, hey man, I'm here in LA, and I don't think Joe's even been in LA before. He's never even been here on vacation or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I said, if I can help, let me know. I'm glad to help. Like I said, our little Kiss collecting world is all pretty small. I mean, we're all friends in some way, from just trading or whatever, exactly. Telling stories and things like that. So I was like, hey man, just let me know. I'd be glad to help out. So I looked into the Yost Theater, which is a fantastic theater, man. I went there for a few shows. I never played there yet, but I've been there for a few shows, and it's really cool. And it looks great. Like, it just has a cool vibe to it. So we looked at the Yost Theater, and I was able to connect in with a few local bands like Fair Warning and Love Drive, and so I'm just it's all, I'm just happy to help out as you guys are,
absolutely,
because it's one of those things. It's like, Joe's such a nice guy, he's a good person, and he just wants to do a good thing. So I don't mean to simplify it so much, but it's true. It's like when you see somebody that really just like, look, I just want to put on a great show. I want all our Kiss fans to get together at this party, because guess what? I get to be part of the party.
Exactly.
I want it to be big because I get to be involved in it. And he's really doing, and he's working super hard, man. He did such a good job on putting all this together, and he's still doing a good job. So I'm just happy to help out whatever little way I can,
Excellent.
And what can fans expect from Dress to Kill at Kruise Fest? Anything special happening?
Yeah. We of course, we're looking at the set times, and obviously it's a limited amount of time because we have a lot of bands now, which is cool. So we're just thinking about, putting in like one or two, at least one song, that's kind of a super curveball that, no one can expect. So we've been rehearsing a couple different tunes, and it's cool. It's good. It's challenging. We wanted to do something from the Elder, and we were looking at it, and I'm like, man, how are we going to get like horns and
That's right.
things?
Maybe not.
There's no way we could do
Maybe
that.
not.
We can't get anybody to overdub, soundtracks.
Right.
So
right.
maybe not that, but yeah, we'll definitely have at least a couple tunes that are out of left field, but we don't want to stray away from the regular stuff too. I guess that's kind of what the real band does. They don't want to go too far off, but that's what the cruise is about. So hopefully on the cruise, everybody's going to see some.
Hopefully,
We'll see.
hopefully. Hey, Greg, you mentioned before, you're part of the organizing committee for Kruise Fest. So you mentioned some of the stuff that you were helping out, Joe and Patrice and then the whole team. So now, let me ask you now, so if you were to take a step back and look at Kruise Fest as simply a fan going to this event, okay? So what are your thoughts about what the Kruise Fest has to offer? If you were to sell it to me, so what could you say? What's the offer?
Oh, it's you as a KISS fan, or you know what? I'm going to go the expanded. You as just like a music fan, even if like you're a very young KISS fan and you're like, yeah, man, I like a couple old songs. I like some new songs. It'd be fun to go to, I saw KISS, I think once on, you could still go to Kruise Fest, even a super hardcore guy or girl and, or, new fan, and still have a blast. Because of course, if you're a mega fan, you're going to go into, night one, because it's going to be, you're going to night one with the comedy night and the party night, and you're going to be just like every fan is going to be chatting everybody up, hanging out, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to, have a great time. You know what I love? Not to sidetrack, but I love fun before the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going to go on vacation, like you have a little barbecue at your house the night before you go on vacation. You're having fun, but you're like, guess what? Tomorrow's going to be even more
That's
fun.
right. It's the prep. Okay.
Right. You're like, oh man, we're having a good time, right? Oh crap, tomorrow's even better. So that's this, it's like, the night one, and then you get to come on the second night. And, I think Joe did a really good job. Like everybody, we all did a really good job with the second night, not being just a bunch of KISS bands or every band plays like 2 KISS songs or something like that. It's different music, Van Halen and, Scorpions and, and KISS and Iron Maiden, obviously Slaughter and Fearless Comet.
Yeah.
You're getting all these kind of cool bands, and you're around KISS fans, so you're going to get your KISS fix for sure, but then you get, up all night and eye to eye,
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
One of the many things I love about Joe is that he's such a great organizer and promoter. It's just amazing what he does. But he's also, very considerate of KISS fans. And I think one of the great things about Kruise Fest, he knows that a lot of fans going on the KISS cruise this year have never been to LA. So Kruise Fest is giving fans an opportunity to go out and check out LA. So as someone who lives in LA, what would you recommend fans go see?
Oh, wow. I was just, we did some things at the Viper Room the day before yesterday. And so I would definitely recommend someone. I think they'll be, we always hear about the Viper Room going away or whatever, but I think, they're going to be obviously there, around Kruise Fest. So definitely see the Viper Room, go there. That's an iconic place. And right across the street when you're at the Viper Room, you go to the Whiskey. The Whiskey's literally right across the street. So you get to go to the Whiskey a Go-Go. The Roxy Theater is down the street from there. So everything's within, and the Rainbow.
Yeah.
Got to go to the Rainbow, man.
Of course.
The best chicken soup you'll ever have, by the way, at the Rainbow. Everybody thinks like the Rainbow is just Jack Daniels and,
Right.
I never thought you could have a chicken soup at the Rainbow. Wow,
oh
that's
man,
amazing.
it is
amazing.
unbelievably good. It's crazy. So yeah, you got the Rainbow, and then if you're thinking like Kiss, Kiss stuff, down the street on Sunset Boulevard is a studio called Sunset Sound, where Peter recorded his solo record with Alan Schwartzberg on drums.
Oh,
So, and it's right there. I don't think it's available. It might be available for a tour, but you can see it right off the road. There's a lot of famous studios, recording studios. United Recording, which used to be called Ocean Way, is right down the street. So there's a lot of music things to see. Of course, on Sunset Boulevard is the Guitar Center on Sunset with the Rock Walk, and you can see the boys' handprints out front. And they have a museum. They used to have a museum inside the store before they renovated it with a lot of they had Peter's first snare drum.
yeah,
A lot of different lot of pieces in there.
The
But yeah,
boots
you got to
and
see the
stuff.
Guitar Center. Yeah, the boots. And I actually worked there around that time when they did that, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to be a part of that. But yeah, there's so much stuff. Obviously, if you want to get away from the Hollywood thing, you could get down to Venice or Santa Monica. It's not not too far. Long Beach, actually, when you're in Long Beach, you get to see the Queen Mary. I think the Queen Mary's still there. I'm sure it is. Been there for 85 years. I'm like, oh, did they move it last week? But yeah, Long Beach, you got the aquarium, you got all this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
A lot of things to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's-
Anybody coming from out of town will love it.
It's such a great package, having the Kruise Fest there in LA, as you said, the party before the party, that's going to be amazing. So, okay, Greg, one final question before we wrap up. So what would you tell fans who may be sitting on the fence about going to Kruise Fest?
Oh, man. If they're thinking about it, here's, if you're in town, if you're here, why would you not
That's right.
want to go? And I'm not, and this is not a commercial, I'm not saying it because like I'm going to be playing, because I am.
You are.
But if you're in town and you're getting ready, I guess would be the second cruise, yeah?
Yeah.
Leaves
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting for the second cruise and you're a Kiss fan, why would you not be there? It's like, that's the place to go. And like I was saying before, as a, even as a music fan, say you're the big Kiss fan, but your wife is with you and she had to go on the cruise with you, totally understandable. Get it. But maybe she's like, oh, I like Kiss enough, but I'm just going with my husband. But she likes music. You could both go to Kruise Fest and see, Slaughter and hang out, comedy. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said before, day one, have a good laugh there, and get together with friends and stuff.
You had a great point. Like Joe and all the organizers, Joe, when he put this together, and Patrice, when he put it together, they know what we want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, taking myself out of it, just as a fan wanting to go, they know what we want to do. We want to laugh. We want to have, drinks, soft drinks or hard drinks, whatever you want. We want to have a good time. We want to hang out with other Kiss fans. We want to share stories. We want to laugh and goof around and see cool stuff. And then we want to watch music. We want to be a party music. And, with the raffles and the VIP things, and there's so many, extra things you could do if you want to meet the bands and, with all the giveaways that Joe's working on and things like that.
And actually, we haven't talked much about the VIP, but you're having the meet and greets, with the guys who play with Ace Frehley. That's going to be amazing.
With Anton, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really do, you don't see that, just to meet Anton, hang out and share stories and ask him some crazy questions that, he's probably heard He's like, oh, but he'll answer it. He'll answer it like it's the first time, you know.
Of
like,
course,
oh,
of
yeah,
course.
you know,
Yeah,
no one's
yeah.
ever asked
How'd
me
you
about
know
playing.
that? How'd you know that?
Yeah. But no, anybody, if you're even close on the fence, listen to me. Hear me now, believe me later. If you're thinking about doing it, just do it. You're going to be glad you did. You know, you really will.
No, Craig, unfortunately, we have to wrap the show.
I knew I was going to go long, man.
Not at all. Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, you're such a fun and dynamic personality. Just can't wait to meet you in person at
I can't wait to meet you.
It's going to be
Same
a
here.
blast. And you know, anybody watching this show, watching this episode, if they're not convinced by now to go to Kruise Fest, I don't know what's going to convince them. I mean, it's going to be an
What
awesome
more
event.
do we have to do?
Exactly. Come on, people. Let's go. Let's go.
I love it, love it. Well, you know, I'm gonna second pass. You know, such a great time here with you, Greg. You know, half an hour, a lot of fun. You know, I love your energy, and can't wait to meet you there. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure.
Thanks, man. I can't wait to meet you guys and have a great Labor Day. Have a great long weekend, and we'll see you then.
Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much.
Beautiful.
So,
Thank you.
to the KISS Army or the KISS Navy, if you want more information on Kruise Fest, please go to cruisefest.com. That's Kruise Fest with a K. Hope to see you all at this event. Take care, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Spotify, Automatic, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to make yourself heard. Leave us a comment on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. See you all soon, KISS Army.